Yes, we are living our best lives. Welcome, friends. Welcome to Kiki's Keys to Unlocking Your Best Life. This is a radio show that brings you weekly stories of friends who have survived their worst and now living their best to give hope and inspiration to others. My name is Kiki Rogers. I'm your gracious hostess, and I wouldn't be able to be here without my generous sponsors. So I do want to thank We Care Tucson, Sarah Sauter's Luxury Real Estate, Kiki Rogers Country Financial, Crossroads Coaching and Career Counseling, and also Phones Down, Just Drive. And I'm also here with Dawn Armstrong from Think Safe Seminars. Welcome, Dawn, to the show.
Hi, Kiki. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're able to join us today. Tell us a little bit more about what Think Safe Seminars is.
Think Safe Seminars provides personal safety training, primarily for women, for businesses who are interested in workplace violence prevention, and we also do travel safety, basically any kind of, travel or women's safety
opportunities.
Thank you.
And you have a really good one coming up this week, Wednesday evening from 5 to 7. Share a little bit more about the Women's Safety Forum.
Right. The Women's Safety Forum is being hosted by the American Association of University Women. I am a member, and we will be talking about women's safety and how all the different elements from the community create that safety. So think 360 degrees of safety: finance, food, housing, personal security, mental health, physical, everything
the
combined.
Holistic approach of
the
it, it sounds like.
holistic approach.
And who's your audience? Who do you want to come to this event?
I think most of the people who will be there are working women and college students.
Okay, so is this open for people to still register and attend on Wednesday?
Absolutely.
And how can they find more information?
You can find information on my website, which is thinksafeseminars.com, and I have links to register. It's free to register, and we'll have 4 speakers and you as our moderator.
I will be moderating.
I'm very excited.
I'm really excited as well.
And then we'll also be having some of the organizations will be there with tables and providing information and resources.
Awesome. Well, again, I'm really glad to have you here as our co-host today and to be sharing more about the Women's Safety Forum. And so definitely, listeners, check out her website at thinksafeseminars.com, or you can also find more information on my Facebook page at Kiki's Keys. But we are here, Dawn, because we have a really special guest to share more about her story. Welcome, Priscilla. Hi.
Hi, Kiki. It's so nice to be here with you.
We're glad to have you. Priscilla Fernandez, what's your day job? What do you do for a living, my friend?
Oh my God, how much time do you have? I do a lot of things. I'm a Latina, so I got a lot of hustles. But
Yeah.
I am a professional comedian, and I also produce comedy shows here in Tucson and open mics. And we specifically focus on marginalized communities, having a safe space to try comedy, to get really good at comedy. And by safe, we mean, there's no hate speech allowed on our stage. So
I love that.
Yes. If you're familiar with stand-up, it's a pretty brutal kind of thing, especially when you're starting. So we want to create like a nice little incubator for them.
Okay.
And we're like super supportive. It's very opposite of what you were taught in the world of comedy.
Right. It used to be insults were what made things funny.
Exactly.
That's why I love puns so much, because the only, victim is the English language, which deserves it.
Yes. Yeah, and my organization is called Lady Haha Comedy.
Lady Haha Comedy.
Love that name.
Yeah, thank you.
How'd you come up with that?
A lot of brainstorming, and Lady Gaga is kind of sort of like a gay icon.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our audience groups is LGBTQ plus people. And so, we try to just provide all kinds of opportunities for people.
I love that. That is really cool. Well, we asked you to come and share more about your comedy. You do have a fun event coming up, or a show coming up this week, coming up week, right?
Yeah.
Friday night?
Yeah, April 19 at the R Bar.
R Bar. And where is that located?
Our bar, well, R stands for Rialto. So it's the little bar in the little alleyway right next to the Rialto. So when you like leave a
Perfect.
show, it's right there. Yeah.
Okay, at 9 p.m.
Yes.
And are tickets still available, or is it just walk-in?
It's free.
It's free?
Yes.
So, okay, wonderful. It
Yeah.
starts 9 o'clock, but maybe people should come a little earlier then to get a seat that they choose.
And grab a drink.
And grab a drink. That's really
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, I love doing shows there. They are phenomenal people.
How long
So-
have you been doing comedy for?
So I've been doing comedy professionally for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I started in 2004. So
Even back then, I was just, looking at some movies that used to be popular in the early 2000s, like Shallow Hal or,
I love that movie.
well, yes, but some that wouldn't get produced today.
Mhm.
When it,
no, yeah, for
you
sure.
know, humor has definitely changed. Have you noticed that, Dawn?
Absolutely.
I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of change
Oh my goodness.
from the stage.
So much. Yeah, it used to be like, it's always been male dominated. It's always been 90% male, maybe 15% female, 10 to 15%. And it is slowly growing, but it is a very difficult profession to get into. And it doesn't really make you any money unless you're huge.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of sort of do it if you like for the love of it.
Kind of a passion profession.
Yeah. And comedy has definitely changed. And I feel like your preferences in comedy are some of the most personal, preferences. So what's funny to you might not be funny to anyone else. And so it's our jobs as comedians to read the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And for yourself, have you noticed how you're treated by other comedians or by your audience differently today compared to 20 years ago?
It's still pretty brutal.
Is it?
Like sometimes you'll have a great audience and we love that, but mostly they're tense. They're expecting, perfection and so yeah, it's tough, but also we have to be a little more sensitive in terms of not punching down. I don't know if you know what that means.
No, explain more.
Yeah. So punching down means that you are targeting targeting or attacking marginalized groups of people. So people of color, LGBTQ, women, that's a huge one. People with disabilities, anyone over 50, just anything you can imagine that's, immigrants, all that stuff. So we make sure that that you're not allowed to talk down to any lower kind of class.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we definitely don't want anyone doing that on our stage. Like, for instance, the N-word.
Oh, no.
And all those things. We don't allow any of that on our stage.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can understand some people of color may have that as part of their routine because
They're
it's part
allowed
of their
to.
culture.
Yeah.
And
So
it wouldn't be
Black
something
people can
I would
say the N-word. Absolutely. That's their word. But yeah, if you're not Black and you're using the N-word, then you're not allowed on our stage.
But we've learned even just recently some other sensitive words like the R word, and that's how we refer to it in our house.
Yes.
And I've even myself have slipped up and said
me too.
latter half of that. And my kid's like, Mom, that means the R word. And I was just saying the last syllable of it and learned a lot about, how we talk about ourselves by using some of those terms.
Yes.
That's really good you're bringing that to awareness and talking open about it because it is not an easy conversation to have.
Well, yeah, I mean, starting Lady Haha Comedy was difficult because I'm kind of disturbing the norm and people don't like change. So they're like, and then it's a woman doing it, a queer woman doing it, a Latina woman doing it. And so, yeah, it's just, I forgot what I was saying. I had a show last night and I'm completely brain dead right now. I'm so sorry.
Dawn, have you experienced that too? Being a female business owner and in a field when you're talking about safety and protection that tends to be more male dominated. How do you break through that?
It is extremely male dominated.
Right.
There are more and more women getting into personal safety and like the martial arts school that I belong to actually is about 50% women, which is really unusual.
Wow. Okay.
Very unusual. And a lot of the instructors are also female. So they are really big proponents of getting girls, teens, women, into learning about safety because it builds that confidence, just like with what you're doing. I mean, it's scary to get on stage.
It's terrifying.
But
like, some people are afraid of
doing it, right?
They're afraid of public speaking more than they are about death.
Yeah, you're right.
It is one of the top human fears.
Yeah.
We got to go into breakouts, but we're going to talk more about this when we come back. This is wonderful stuff. Thank you for being here. We are living our best life. Welcome back, friends. This is Kiki Rogers with Kiki's Keys to Unlocking Your Best Life, and we are back with our co-host Don Armstrong of Think Safe Seminars and Priscilla Fernandez, and with Lady Haha Comedy.
Yeah.
Tell us again what the website is for Lady Haha.
LadyHahaComedy.com.
Okay.
We're also on Instagram, Facebook as Lady Haha Comedy. So we're really easy to find, and we have so many events all the time. Tell us about the one coming up on Friday. Yeah, it's a comedy show. It's a later, comedy show at 9 p.m. and it's fun. It's outdoors.
Oh, okay.
And the weather right now has been absolutely perfect
for that time of night. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And we just have a ball, and mostly all of our shows are adult humor.
Mm-hmm.
So we let you know there will be explicit, language every once in a while. But yeah, we try to be cognizant of everyone in the audience.
Well, that's fabulous. I'm definitely going to be there.
I hope so.
I'm planning to be there.
I'm glad.
For sure.
Yes, we'll have to sit
that'd
together.
Be amazing.
And we've had Candace Eaton on the show before. She's who introduced me to you, and she also is going to be part of that lineup.
She will. I'm so glad you mentioned it because I completely forgot. Candace is part of it, and I really kind of had to twist her arm to be in it because, when women start doing comedy, there's so much self-doubt. There's so much insecurity. And even though Candace is an amazing comedian, she's hilarious, I wouldn't have asked her to be in the show if she wasn't that good. But it's so typical of us that, we're just I'm not that good and da-da-da-da. But she is really good. So hopefully you'll get to see that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun, Dawn.
Yes.
It will be a lot of fun. She's fun just to have a conversation with. So
absolutely.
She's a silly goose.
That's why probably you and I are connecting so well.
Probably.
We both absolutely love that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about now how life is as a comedian, and how are you living your best life today?
Ooh, well, the way I live my best life is being super self-aware and having boundaries. Just learning really to have those. But my comedy's gotten a lot better. It's gotten a lot better because this safe space was created not just for everyone else, but for me too.
Right.
And so I couldn't believe how much better and more evolved I got on stage with just knowing that there would be no one attacking me, that there would be no one following me to my car. Just all those things, the assaults and the harassment. I don't know how much I can say here, but yeah. So
because you had been physically, as well as verbally abused,
physically abused. I've been groped. I've been slapped. I've been even the R word attempted by a club owner here in town.
Dear.
Yeah. So this is people don't know the seedy, depressing, dark underbelly of comedy. Nobody knows it until they get into it. They go, "What? Why is comedy so nasty?" Well, a lot of us have mental, health issues, and
a lot of people use humor to process traumas and process mental illness. I know I have in my own life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so when I learned that skill when I was I remember the day I was 7 years old when I realized I had a superpower. That's how it felt. Oh. The tension in my home was so bad, and I just remember the first time I made my parents laugh. And all the problems went away. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is how I'm going to get through life. Right. This is how I'm going to survive this abuse, And so now that I do it, I'm a lot freer now, and I'm still discovering who I am at 46. I still have many more years and things to learn, even though I'm kind of tired of learning. You ever just get
you're
there?
You're either winning or you're learning.
You never stop learning. Never stop learning.
We're
never
eventually
stop learning.
going to learn the ultimate lesson, and then we get to graduate.
Yeah.
And so I just say, as long as I'm still learning and I'm still on this side of the gravel, we're doing great. Right?
Absolutely.
I think Muhammad Ali, I say this a lot, but I believe Muhammad Ali said it, you're either learning or you're winning, or you're winning or you're learning.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's why
I think it was that one.
But yeah, the second way, but
Yeah.
turning all those L's into lessons, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Where did you get your intro music? It's so fun.
Oh, that's fun. If you can't continue to play that song on air.
Oh.
It's a Cardi B song.
Oh.
And I think it's Jay-Z that's in the beginning. Forgive me if I got that wrong. But
Okay.
yeah, so definitely just the bumper music works really well, but
Yeah.
it works.
So just to finish what I was saying,
Oh,
if
sure.
that's okay.
Yes.
So just real quick. So because I went through all that crap, I decided that either I need to put up with it or start my own. So I just decided to start my own and focus on women, focus on marginalized people, and I wanted to give them what I had never gotten, and I wish I had gotten, because everyone around me told me comedy has to hurt. You have to suffer. You have to lift yourself from your bootstraps. You have to grind. That's the word. You have to grind
yeah.
it. People are going to
We
put
hear
you
that in
down.
sales.
You got to get tough. And I disagree, because life is way hard enough. I don't need any more challenges, especially in comedy.
Right.
That's like so antithetical to like what you're doing. So we've all noticed that we all thrive and evolve and grow when all we need is a safe space to be ourselves and discover who we are. And I tell every woman I know to try comedy just once so you can see what it's like, because I feel like women are way funnier than men. I do. We are hilarious. And people say, no, women aren't fun. Well, it's because we haven't had a chance. They've had it for 100 years or so.
Right.
We're barely
Or
getting
we had
in
to
there.
get vulgar.
Well,
That's, I remember the late 80s, the early
Yeah.
90s, they, okay, we'll step up to your level and we'll be vulgar and we'll talk. But, there's a difference between talking about adult topics and lowering, I think, ourselves. And
Yeah.
I love that you brought it back. Did you want to ask something?
Oh, I was
Sorry.
just going to say, I remember some of the female comedians were not vulgar, but smart.
yeah.
Yes.
Really smart humor.
Yes.
And that was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I could say a lot about women getting into comedy and how we have to like masculinize ourselves or just so that we can be respected. Like there's a whole psychology around female comedians and what they have to do. And basically men, this is what I was told statistically, that men do comedy so that they can sleep with people, have someone's, and then women do it so they can be heard.
That's really interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I do resonate with that feeling as a woman, your
Listen
children
to
not
me.
hearing or your family not listening.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get more and more women up there, and it's our time. It's our turn.
That's awesome.
Queers, people of color, just you name people over 50, come to Lady Haha Comedy. I want you there.
That's great. I think anybody who feels that lack of confidence within because of previous traumas or abuse would really feel welcomed in that kind of space.
Yes, absolutely. And it is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not downplay. It's scary, but it's so rewarding. And if you're looking for excitement in your life, trying comedy that'll literally make your life crazy. But yeah, so I encourage everyone to try it. So I have an open mic this Tuesday at Hotel Congress.
You do?
So anyone
wow.
can come and try comedy. Everyone gets
Wow.
5 minutes. It's Tuesday at 7 p.m. We have them regularly. And we will be having a drag open mic too, which is really cool. Have you ever heard of a drag open mic?
No, I have not. And let's
silly.
go while we can.
It's so silly. It's
Not
so
trying
fun.
to get political. Forgive me, folks.
Oh, wait,
no,
what'd
no,
you
no,
say?
no, no.
I missed
I said,
it.
let's go while we can.
Yeah. Yes,
you know,
thank you.
It is sad how,
We have
like
to
you said,
support.
people are being shut down. And I really love what you did, recognizing that we need for our vulnerability to be there and for us to learn who we are as people. We do need to be in a safe environment to do so.
I mean, they say that's really all you need to thrive.
Is safety.
Safety. Number
Safety.
one. Yeah.
What a wonderful segue back to Ms. Dawn Armstrong of Think Safe Seminars. Wow. It's like I planned it or something, guys.
She's speaking my language.
Aww.
Absolutely. I understand. And, even, on your stage, on my stage, we have to create that environment where people can feel comfortable enough to try something new, something that might scare them.
Yes.
I mean, for a lot of people, personal safety or self-defense is scary. And they've never tried it because they didn't know somebody or they didn't want to walk into a school. But when you create a safer place, whether it's on a stage or, in an office or in a building, anywhere, and you invite people and you create a comfortable environment where they can be themselves and they can fail and learn. And it's not really failing because you're just trying. And maybe it doesn't work out quite the way you want or have the right effect, but then you learn and you keep going.
Awesome. Thank you, Dawn. So this is an exciting week, ladies, in Tucson area, or if anyone wants to come into Tucson, we have open mic at Hotel Congress with Lady Haha Comedy on Tuesday. We have the Women's Safety Seminar, or
Women's Safety Forum.
Thank you, on Wednesday from 5 to 7.
And that's downtown as well at Forge, which is on Stone and Pennington.
Thank you for that. And we couldn't be here without our sponsors. So thank you again, Sarah Sodders, We Care Tucson, Phones Down, Just Drive, Crossroads Coaching, Kiki Rogers, Country Financial. We couldn't be here without that lovely support of our sponsors. So thank you very much, and go ahead and show them some love. You can find their information more on my Facebook page. Otherwise, until next week, friends, go be the best you that you can be, because no one else can do it better than you.
Space and the War Cabinet has convened to monitor the situation.
CBS's Margaret Brennan.
We now have multiple fronts in Mideast conflicts. This is no longer just Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza. This is now a state-on-state conflict with Iran itself.
President Biden has been meeting with national security advisors in the Situation Room. CBS News Special Report. I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
Tucson's only live local news and talk. KVOI Cortero, 1030 The Voice, a Bustos media station. Online at kvoi.com.
Hey guys, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Arizona here. Bet you have things on your weekend list that aren't fun. Know what is fun? Being a big brother. Get a little brother who needs a good guy to help them meet their potential. Go bowling, see a movie, shoot some hoops, even if you're bad at it. It's 2 or 3 times a month for a couple of hours on your schedule. A little time with a little brother who needs you. Learn more at soazbigs.org. That's soazbigs.org. You'll be glad you did, and so will your little brother.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
But I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955.
Hi, it's Hugh Hewitt on the next Hugh Hewitt Show. I'll review the weekend events in Israel. Did Iran do anything? If so, how has Israel responded? And all the other news of the weekend and what promises to be a close vote on the reauthorization of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, Section 2. We'll bring it all to you on the next Hugh Hewitt Show.
Hugh Hewitt, live weekday mornings from 4 to 6 on 1030 The Voice, Tucson's only live local news and talk. Business, politics, education, and more. It's trusted local news and talk for the weekend on 1030 The Voice.
Today on the Town Hall Review with Hugh Hewitt, President Biden makes a dangerous and ill-advised statement on Israel.
What I'm calling for is for the Israelis to just call for a ceasefire.
We'll hear from Victor Davis Hanson.
And then what happens? Well, we know what happens. Hamas comes out of the bunkers. They say, we defeated the Jews. Here we are.
Former President Trump delivers a position statement on abortion.
The states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both.
Marjorie Dannenfelser of the Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America responds.
Human rights don't stop at the borders of states.